We start with our intro just because it's a button on this little board that I bought and we paid money for. So I feel like we have to make use of the intro song, even though it's kind of like cheesy. I don't even know what you would call this. Would you call this jazz?
Kind of.
Funk? It's kind of funky. I like it, yeah.
Modern.
It's kind of modern. All right,
I like it.
That out.
I do like that intro.
All right, welcome everybody to our show. Once again, we're here with the CommsClubCast. That's just what I keep calling it. And today I am with another new friend that I just met 5 minutes ago. I'm here with Fiona Turner, and Fiona is on the Revis High School choir. Hi, Fiona. How are you?
Good.
Welcome.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty well, I think. I think I'm doing okay. So what would we call that? We call that like the choir team. Is that an activity? Is it what how would you?
Revis Music Department. We're part of that.
Is it a co-curricular class where you have choir class during the day and you also have events that you take part in after school and outside of school? Is that accurate?
Exactly like that.
All right. So another music department class that is co-curricular, and that means for all of you at home, that means you do stuff during the day in school and then you get to do stuff with your stuff outside of school, like competitions and whatnot. So what types of competitions or contests or events does the Revis Choir take part in?
Our main thing is like concerts. So we do concerts here, and sometimes we do like little things at other schools. So our most recent thing that we just did is we went to Carthage and we performed one song there. You know, there's other things we do too. We do clinics like at Carthage. So we like learn new things about music from these different people that are teaching us. And it's just a lot of fun. We go on little field trips like that.
Okay, so when you're saying like a clinic, that would be somewhere where there's professional instructors that give you guys some tips and like listen to you perform and then give you some feedback as to how your performance went. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. Tell me about that Carthage experience. Was there something where you kind of walked away from that instruction, that clinic, where you're like, wow, that's really cool. That's something I'd like to apply?
Yeah, honestly, like this time they were talking about how our dynamics were really good, and we've really never gotten that before. So it was really interesting hearing that. Like usually we'd have like a critique on our dynamics because like maybe it wasn't like good enough.
So when you're talking about dynamics, what does that mean in choir?
Right. It's like where you get bigger, where you get smaller, like where your voice, like how your voice carries throughout the song, like in what extent, I don't know.
So it's kind of like the emotion of the song. It's not so much the tempo or the speed. It's more like the intensity, how you're kind of like, when you're telling a story, you want to emphasize certain things and like de-emphasize other things. I would imagine that's probably what they're talking about.
Yeah, just like that.
And when you're in choir, what are the different, what would you call that? The soprano and what are those called? The different.
So the highest one is soprano, and the highest one is soprano 1, and then there's soprano 2, there's alto 1, alto 2, tenor 1, tenor 2, bass 1, bass 2, and sometimes they don't have the tenor bass variation, sometimes they just have baritone. So it's just like all these different voice parts, like some songs will just have alto, soprano, tenor, bass, and some songs will have a lot more harmony, and those are the complex ones you have to think a lot about when you're singing.
Do you change, or are you kind of like, once you're in, your voice fits into this certain area and that's what you're focusing on?
Usually people stay around where their voice part is, but sometimes we switch for different songs because like some songs call for like different dynamics and different people fit. Those are like requirements.
So what's yours?
I'm a soprano. Usually a soprano 1, but I can be soprano 2. I could also be an alto sometimes, but okay. Yeah.
So that's like the really high stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you to do that. You don't want to do that?
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe another time. So yeah, that's well beyond my knowledge of choir. And then Mr. Davis is your teacher. Is that right? How many people do you have in the choir approximately?
I think we have 38 people this year.
And is that something where, I know with our marching band discussion, it was like the more people you have, the better it is for the band, like the more elements you have. Would you say that is probably holds true with choir as well? Or do you think you get to a certain sweet spot and then when you get beyond that, it's almost like, we probably could cut down on some bodies here?
It really depends, honestly. Like sometimes a lot of people can really fill the room, and sometimes like, I don't know, sometimes it feels like there's something missing because like, I don't know. I think it depends.
Where did you start your sort of like choir, vocal, musical journey?
Yeah, I did drama as in middle school, and then as a freshman, I did choir. I did it the second semester though, so I didn't learn like all of the actual reading sheet music stuff. So that's like been kind of a struggle.
So you do have to be able to read sheet music in choir because your instrument in that case is your voice. So you still have to have an understanding of reading music.
Yeah, it's really not as simple as just looking at the words and producing a sound. You really have to like think about each note and exactly like where it fits in the line. Like, I don't know if any of you have ever read sheet music. It's very intricate.
Yeah, it's like reading a foreign language. Like you have to understand it in order to be able to do it. There's these bars, and then the higher your voice is going to go, the higher up it's going to go. So your sheet music for your soprano 1, right, is probably going to be like way up here. You're all the way up at the top, and then like what's the really low one? What's that one called?
The really really low bass.
So they're like way below the lines, and they're like boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Is that low enough, or would I not make it?
No, you can. Yeah, you could be a bass one.
Yeah. I could pull that off. What would you say your favorite type genre of music for choir is?
So at the end of the year, we do this spring recital where we kind of wind down from all of the like complex learning music and stuff, and like very like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. At the end of the year, we kind of just get to pick. Like we get to pick what song we want to sing, and a lot of people sing these musical theater songs. They sing duets, they sing solos, trios. And I just think like I really like singing musical theater songs just because it's very fun, it's very lighthearted. You don't really have to worry as much about how you performed.
Yeah. I would say it's probably like the difference between like a jazz musician like at a really high-end music school versus somebody who is putting together like a cover band to play some like 80s rock music, right? Like I think there's a familiarity with it too. So when you're doing musical theater, it's probably something that you know already. So you don't have to focus so much on the technical, like reading the music and making sure that everything is just right and everything. It's kind of like a feel, right? It's like you get out there and you just let it happen. So how would you say you prepare physically and mentally for your performances, like vocal performances? Do you think that there's people that have a natural ability and it just comes out, and then other people have to like train harder, or how do you approach that, or what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I mean, everybody has like sort of a base level of experience at one point, and then every single year as you continue working on all of these different types of music, different variations of like what your throat and your chest and your head voice is all producing, you really like learn like about all the different types of music. And then so over the years you gradually improve. Like there's no way that you don't sound different than you did. Like say you're a senior in choir, there's no way you don't sound different from freshman year. Like you have to.
But I think with everything that you do, it's just about how much you care. So it's about how much you're going to put into something. If you are kind of like, it would be cool to learn how to sing, and then you're like, I don't really want to practice. I don't really want to, you don't really want to do it, right? But if you're like, I absolutely want to be a singer and I'm going to work at it, you're going to get pretty good at it if you do it long enough. Would you agree on that?
For sure. Yeah.
What tips would you give someone who's just starting out? Like, so you want to sing a song. I want to learn how to sing a song. And is it about the breathing? Is it about where you're singing from? Is it about, tell me what like kind of beginner tips you would give somebody who's trying to sing a song pretty well.
Yeah, pretty much everything you said, it's all about like all of that, and it's about a lot. So probably the most important thing you can think about is just put yourself out there. Like don't just sing under your breath and like mumble and like that's not gonna, you're not gonna be able to improve if you do that. Like nobody's gonna hear your mistakes and nobody's gonna be able to help you fix them. So yeah, most important thing, probably just put yourself out there, just do what you do and then work on it from there.
What are the competitions that you attend where you have like, I don't know if it's IHSA, if there's choir competitions or contests or showcases. Do we participate in any of those outside of school? And if so, which ones do we do?
Yeah, so we did, at the beginning of the year, we always start with ILMEA, and I can't remember what that stands for, but it's basically just, we learn like these 3 songs, right? We have to learn like to the book, like learn every single note.
Yep.
And it's like you're competing with all these other schools, and there's like different rankings that the judges give you. Basically, you just submit your audition, and then if you make it, you get to go to this like other place, and you have to sing those 3 songs that like you learned.
You are competing, like you're auditioning as a soloist, or are you auditioning as an entire group?
Right. Sorry. So you are auditioning as a soloist, right? Like you're doing your own individual submission, and then later at the concert, you're performing with all of the kids that made it. Like every single kid. Yeah.
So they're putting together an all-star team of choir, and it's like a big deal to make that into the. So you have somebody in the choir that made that this year. Yeah,
we do. Yeah, her name's Vita. She's awesome.
And then what does she sing? What level? What do you call that? Soprano.
She's an alto.
So what is the terminology for that? Like if I say like, what are you? Like you're like, what do you mean? What am I? Like how do you ask someone the question like what? Soprano, which one of those you sing? Do you know what that term is? I've
just heard like what's your voice part? What's your
okay. So we just call it a voice part.
Yeah.
So her voice part is she's an alto, which is kind of in the middle. Is that?
Yeah, she's like a lower, like usually females sing like soprano and alto, but like it could be anything.
So it's a low-ish version of the middle to upper. Well, that's pretty cool. So when you guys submit those, how do you record that and where do you send it to?
We usually just send it to Mr. Davis. We like record it by ourselves. You can't like there's a lot of rules behind it. You can't have like things playing in the background. You can't have headphones in whatsoever. Like these like you would not make it at all.
Can you record it on like a high level recording equipment or you can't do it? It's got to be like on a cell phone.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Mine was on my cell phone. A lot of people did theirs on like their school computers, you know.
Wow. So I'd hate to be the person who had to listen to those. But I imagine like the low level of quality that we have there. Thank you to Fiona for being on the show today. I hope you had a good time. It was nice. I learned some things about choir and vocals. I thought it was cool.
It's awesome.
And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.